Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Attack on Productions. Fluff here bringing you another deck profile. But before I do that, make sure to do the YouTube type stuff, like, comment, subscribe, anything that you want to see. Today we're looking at the Goku Black Wish deck. This deck is a ton of fun. It's an absolute draw machine, though it's probably what I would consider to be on the fragile side of things. So you'll kind of see why as we go over the deck profile. But on the front side, we've got the leader. When you attack, you add up to 2 Dragon Balls from life or deck, add them to hand. Your awaken condition is when you either have 3 or less life, or there are 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area. You place all Dragon Balls in your drop area at the bottom of your deck, draw 1 card, and flip this card over. So on the back side, he's basically like any other Wish leader. He's got 1 of 3 effects. 1 is draw a card, 1 is add a Dragon Ball from deck to hand, then shuffle the deck if you look through the deck. And then the third effect is remove 7 Dragon Balls in your drop area from the game. If you do, play 1 Zamasu with an energy cost of 2 or less and indestructible from your warp, and this card gains triple attack for the turn. So that's the leader. Basically, it functions like every old Wish leader, except you have to collect the 7 Dragon Balls again. You don't just have the Dragon Balls once you awaken, you have to collect them again. So with that in consideration, that influences a lot of what you would do for the deck design space. So you'll see that as we get into the deck profile. So looking at the deck itself, I decided to run 4 copies of Dragon Ball and 3 copies of Coercion. The big reason that we're running this split is Coercion is an extra deck yellow card that states if your leader's yellow Shenron, basically you choose 1 God card in your hand, send it to the warp. If you do, draw 2 cards. Sometimes there's not a good God target in your hand, or something that you don't want to get rid of in your hand is your only God target option. So I felt like if we went 7 Coercion deep, you would run into a situation where you might end up running out of applicable targets in your hand, or you might have to sacrifice things that might be good at the current state of the game. So I'm supplementing that by including 4 Dragon Balls on top of the 3 Coercion. So that's our 7 Dragon Ball split. And if you notice, these are yellow extra cards, which will come in relevant later. Then next, I run 4 Rumshi, Universe 10 Supporter. So this is the Unison for the deck. The big thing that we are noticing on this card is that it's got Empower 2 auto when this card is played. If it has 4 or more markers, choose all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. And then he's got a +2, place 2 Dragon Balls from deck to drop area. So he's important for the leader's effect, where the leader places all the Dragon Balls back into the drop area. We have a lot of cards that depend on yellow extra cards being in the drop area or energy area to get their effects off or become cheaper. So Rumshi will just, as soon as you awaken, +2 and dump 2 Coercion from the deck into the drop area to turn those cards back on. Otherwise, you have a period where you have cards that are turned off. And then his +0 doesn't matter because we don't play Gawas in this match. So 15,000 body with Empower 2 is actually really good. If you're at, let's say you're at 4 markers and you pay 2 for another Rumshi, the next Rumshi comes in with 4 markers, you +2, you're now at 6 markers. So I feel like this would be a good Unison for Topo Lock, ? Kind of getting into our God engine, I play 4 of the Zamasu self-supported. The big thing about this card is its activate battle. Place this card in 1 Goku Black in your combo area into your warp and draw 1 card. Otherwise, this is a card that we're just going to end up warping off for Coercion or using to make our Goku Black Zamasu later. So 4 of those. Then I play 4 of the SS Rose Goku Black Future on the line. This card is an absolute house of a card. So for 2 energy, you get to play it. And when it's played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. And then for 1 energy, you can send this card to the owner's warp. Draw 1 card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and KO it. So it's more removal for the deck. And it's also treated as blue. I don't know that particularly matters so much in this version of the deck, but then we're running 4 Zamas the Eliminator because this card is absolutely broken and busted, even with its errata text on it. We're playing 4 Fused Zamas Divine Condemnation. So energy exhaust, indestructible, blocker, Aegis seems like a pretty good skill set to me. For a blue and a yellow energy, if you have a Goku black and he's a Moss in your combo area, you get to play this guy from your hand. He's a 20,000 body. So he's going to increase your defense. Plus Aegis getting to restand 2 energy is excellent. And for the last Goku black piece that we play, well, not the last, Fuse Zamas Exterminating Force. This is the 9-drop. It's got an EX Evolve skill for 1 blue, 1 yellow, and 2 colorless energy. It's basically a straight upgrade. It's a double strike blocker with Aegis and Indestructible on a 35,000 body. But this time when we activate Aegis, you get to draw 1 card, switch this card to active mode, choose one of your opponent's cards, and switch it to rest mode. So you get to block with it, Aegis, restand it, tap one of your opponent's cards, and then you still have an indestructible blocker that you can go with. It's a very heavy investment card if you can get it off. But even more importantly for the deck, beyond him being a big bungus, is that if your leader is Zamas or Goku Black, you get to ignore his energy exhaust in all areas. So turn 1 charge is typically this guy if we can find it. I run 4 Zamas Sacred Disbelief as our super combos because we do like to combo with our Zamas cards. And we do like to combo with our Goku Black cards, specifically for getting out that 5-drop. And the deck draws enough that missing a draw super combo is not that big of a deal. And I play 3 Goku Black Unforeseen Darkness because we needed more Goku Black targets in the deck. And this is the second best Goku Black card in the game right now. So that is the Fuse Zamas Goku Black portion of the deck. We're now moving into kind of the good yellow deck cards. So we've got Goku Steadfast Alliance at a 3 of, because this card is absolutely busted. I'd run it at a 4 of if I didn't want to run a 60 card list, which you'll find ironic at the end of this. 4 Mega Frieza Robotic Riposte. This card is also a staple in yellow right now for reasons that I'm sure you all already know. 3 Turles All Too Easy because it's the best removal that yellow has. So being that we are playing a yellow Saiyan on the backside is highly relevant. We are almost always going to awaken by turn 3. So Turles is always active when he is active. And last but not least, 2 Son Goku. Because our Unisons get big, we don't mind spinning the Spirit Boost and then just plus 2ing again and going right back up. So it's a good way for us to establish a kill condition. And last battle card is Supreme Kai of Time. Because, dare I say, best secret rare in the game right now? I don't know. It's close. It's close. It's getting there. For our extra cards, I run 2 Vegeta's Final Flash, because if you don't, you're stupid. 1 Power of a Super Saiyan, because why not? 2 Realm of the Gods Black Kamehameha, because this card is absolutely crazy, but sometimes doesn't come up. So that's it for our yellow cards. But do also remember that we run 3 Coercion as Dragon Balls, so those will count towards our Steadfast Alliance and Robotic Riposte counts. And then I rounded off with 3 Senzu Bean. If my count is right, this is a 59 card deck. I did have it at 60. The consistency gets a little bit weird, so I wanted to cut it down a little bit, but I couldn't come up with enough to cut it down, so it's still at 59. If I wanted to run it at a full 60, I would cut Steadfast Alliance back up to a 4 of. But I think he runs perfectly fine at a 3 of. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my awkward-ass deck profile of the Goku Black Wish. Hope you guys like this deck. I love it. I think there's a lot of figuring out and cracking that has to happen with this deck before it's fully fleshed out. I don't believe by any stretch that my list is the 100% correct list for the deck. I feel like there's a lot that has to get figured out as this deck gets played. but I feel like there's a ton of potential there. And once you kind of get into it, you see how much it draws. Like, you're sitting on hands that are like 15, 16 deep just because of how your leader functions. But as always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. Cough running 59 cards in your deck. Cough. Fluff out.